You know, you guys would think that by now I would have had a system figured out where I start on time and I have all my posts in order, but no, that could never be me. So I'm still putting out posts on every social media site. It's Ever After High's 13-year anniversary. Okay. Um, Also did not update the information for the stream. So yeah, you'd think I'd have my shit together by now, but I don't. What else is new? I still need to update the title of the other one. I don't know what part we're on, to be completely honest. But we're still on very much very cursed Oikawa, so have not had the time to work on anything offline, mainly because I've been working on product images, which I'm like, at the time they were okay, but now I'm looking back at everything and I'm just like, this is terrible. This is horrible. I don't like anything. Anyway, I'm gonna get things posted. Watch me. Let's change that. Gonna go ahead. I need to post things to Instagram and TikTok now too, not just Bluesky and Twitter. Do 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 do. I should really use Bluesky now more. I really should. Okay. TikTok does never. Ah. Don't ask what that was. I don't know either. What do you mean? Okay. Give me a minute. Oh, okay. Indie volleyball. I just wish they would, you know, I wish for like the auto generated like text images or whatever TikTok does, like they'd at least let you customize a color. That would be nice because I saw one with a volleyball. I like this one better. I just wish they let you customize. I'll go with that. And I'm shy of doing it on Instagram because Instagram is where real people know me, and I don't want they don't need to see me. I don't want to be perceived. I put off Instagram for the longest time because I don't like being perceived. Um, is there a way to? Is there a way to that? Is there a way to download? Okay. Da, 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 Does it play the music too? Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Okay. What the heck? I'm so confused. What are you doing? What the? Okay. That's up there. Into the void. The number of times I got distracted. The number of times I got distracted while just trying to put out stream announcements. And I don't have my drawing glove. Where's my drawing glove? Like, I could just use my bare hand. That's how I did it for the longest time, but it just does not feel right. That's not the right glove, but it's like I have a pair of fingerless gloves that work perfectly fine, but with the summer, like, I rather not do fingerless gloves because that's gonna get too hot too fast. Anyway, we're actually gonna sit down and like get my ass focused because I have not drawn in a hot well, I have not drawn since last week, and I need to be on YouTube because I don't know how else to keep track of chat. Anyway, I'll update the thumbnail later with however far we get. And tour box, never prepared. Never prepared. All you guys need to know about me is I'm a hot mess on a good day. So last time we left off, Oikawa still looks like a thing of nightmares. I was struggling with his head, so hopefully we'll be able to figure out his head. Like, I'm noticing some things about his arm. His arms could be a little bit more thicker. I think his torso is a proper length. I still feel like his shoulders are too wide. So we'll see where this goes because there's still some adjustments that I want to do to his base sketch. And Torbox. I can't do this without you, buddy. Do I need to... Buddy, you good? Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay. So his face was giving me a hard time. I think part of it is the angle. Okay. Yeah. Part of it has... What did I just clear off? Okay. Wrong layer. Jesus. Okay, so part of it has to do with the eyes. The shape. The placement's there. I just think that it's doing too much. It's too... Okay. So one of the things that kind of throws me off is because the head is curved. And one of the tips that I've seen, pretty much draw a plane and then like pretend as if you're folding a piece of paper so that you end up with a curve. But that curve is for the eye. Well, at least that curve I usually put for the eyebrows. And I think I may... Yeah, because there's something about his eyes that are just throwing me off, and I can't place it. And the thing is, I don't know if I'm just making the curve too pronounced, especially because this is a 3/4 angle, which pretty much the angle we mostly draw in around here. The eyes are just really throwing me off. I don't know what to do with them. And welcome to today's episode of Do I Even Remember How to Draw? Because the other thing is, too, his nose is also too low. I don't know what to do with your head, sir. Oh, I'm still stuck. Because this is where the middle of his nose, his brow bone is gonna come up here. That is, okay, yeah. Okay, that got too steep too fast. Curved in the wrong place. And then Oikawa. This image used to be clear once upon a time. I need another reference. Do I have another reference? I just found an old drawing and I'm just having a moment of like, of all places, why is that there? Why did I put that there? MNOP. Yeah, that's the only Oikawa reference I have. What was that? Yeah, this is the only reference I have of Oikawa, and it's not exactly the clearest picture. Okay. I just need a better picture of his eye shape. Because I'm pretty sure I used to do it more of an almond shape once upon a time. Yeah, because one of the issues with facial expressions from like the default, it's a good range of expressions, but I need his default. Well, then again, okay, yeah, okay. It is hot. It is getting warm. I don't like it. I don't like the summer. You know, maybe the thing I need to do first, instead of fixating on the head, actually work on the eyes. Because I think part of my issue is that's too pronounced. Brow bone goes up here. So this is going to be the midpoint. So the problem if I follow this curve, not to mention I feel there's something about the head that is just throwing me off and I can't place it. It's something about the head. Let me just... It's driving me insane. When in doubt, just start over, I guess. For one, this sphere. Okay, I think we finally got it. Position of the nose is off. Okay, okay. I'm no longer. I still feel like there's a certain part of this that's a little too elongated. If anything, chin can be brought up more because I don't think chin needs to be that. And okay. That's a better rough shape for the head now. So we'll work off of that as a base, and let me get more of this actually sketched in, and I will have to adjust his head a little bit more. It's hot. Okay, so hairline can go lower here. And then nose is much better there. I'll figure out the shape because this is where the eyebrows are going to go. Excuse me. I forgot I did that. Okay. And let's go back with a darker blue. I think move this in a little closer. What does the eyebrows look like? Because his eyebrows are pretty thin. Yeah, they don't go that far. Akawa has a pretty face, but boy, does it give me a hard time. Part of me thinks I should try doing TikTok live again. I'll be honest, like I don't know, there's something about the algorithm. It's not as good as it used to be. Like before, I would get pretty good traffic, and eventually people who like stick around. But nowadays, it's just like people come and they go, and I don't think it's reaching the right audience. It's not as many as it used to be. I think starting next week, once the shop goes live, I'm gonna set aside 2 days for streaming, one for crochet, and then another one for stuff like this. Mouth can move higher. His eyes can get smaller. Chin. Okay, there we go. Actually, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Put the wrong angle for the ear. Because you would see more of the side of it, but anyway, that's locked in. His face looks a lot better now. Stupid, beautiful Oikawa. Now head compared to the rest of the body, I think is okay. Eyes will get smaller. Eyes will have to get smaller. I think now would be a good time to bring up references of the DBD killers. So, because the other thing is too, I do still need to do the mask. Let's see. Okay. Frank, Julie, Joey, and Susie. Okay. I was gonna do something. What was I gonna do? DVD Legion. Oh, the different skins. Okay. Anyway. Okay, Frank. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, so Frank. Where do they keep the gallery? Okay, there we go. Okay, so that means Frank and Julie actually have very similar masks. Okay. Okay. Mask is pretty straightforward. Nothing, doesn't seem anything too complicated. Famous last words. I feel tempted to draw Oikawa's hair first, then I'll add in the mask later. Yeah, we'll add in the mask later. I do want to just draw in Oikawa's hair first. I can't tell if that's a child screaming or a cat meowing. Okay, that probably doesn't need to be as detailed, but we'll keep the chest detail in the case the shirt goes lower. Simple hoodie. I'm probably gonna try designing a leather. Okay, so Frank has what looks like a leather jacket. And I think I'm gonna try doing something very similar to Atsumu, where it's based off of the killer's design. So let's see. Aoba Josai. They don't have hood on their. They don't have hoods on their uniform jackets, do they? Yeah, I don't think they have hoods on their uniform jackets, but I could do a very similar style with Oikawa's, and actually I can potentially use his old jersey. Okay, we'll use the jacket with Oikawa. Only thing is it's white. I don't know, white and murder are usually a bad combo. Maybe something reminiscent. Because I think I'll keep the design of the jacket, like the fit of the jacket. See, but that's the thing, that would be kind of stupid because that would be identifying. Okay, so an outfit inspired by we'll keep the leather jacket. Okay, we'll do a black leather jacket and then okay, I think I know what we're gonna do. Okay, black leather jacket, and then I'm gonna give him a hoodie under the jacket. That's gonna be the Seijou colors because I do want to keep that the element from the school colors somewhere in the picture. And I figured easier way to do that is give at least some of them elements of the school uniforms, if not the jackets themselves. So hoodie over a leather jacket. Mm-hmm. I don't know what. Oh, when's the last time I've hoodie over a leather jacket? As I said, we can potentially make the arms a little bit more thicker. Again, the shoulders feel too wide for what the size of the head is. I don't know if it's just me though. I think it's just me. I've been drawing too many chibis. And I did say we would draw like how his hair first. The part that is not in the middle. So his middle. Yeah, because the part here is right over his eyebrow. So this is where this starts. So he's got a side part. When am I gonna do the Oisuga serial killer boyfriend AU? And then all his hair swooshing happens on this side of his head. And now I feel like I set his forehead too high. Or too low. I don't know if it's just the eyes that are throwing me off now. I remember one time I was talking with a friend in high school, and we both drew, and we would always draw each other birthday presents. So pretty much, she knew that I loved Oikawa and I love Suga. So for one birthday, she actually drew a Suga for me, and we ended up getting into this conversation that for some reason, like Suga is super easy for her. And then no, wait. Right. So she would tell me that Suga was very like his hair was a lot more complicated for her to draw. And then the funny thing is, it's like for me, it's Oikawa's hair that's difficult to draw. But we were the inverse of each other because while I struggled with Oikawa's hair, she knew how to work with Oikawa's hair. Now he just looks kind of, I don't know. Just I feel like this needs to move down. His eyes aren't helping right now. So again, trust the process. His hair looks like a mess right now, but I've always struggled with Oikawa's hair as much as I love to draw him and as much as I love him. His hair has always given me difficulties when it comes time to draw it. I think it's so I'm just gonna block out the shapes that I need his hair to be in. this can be a little bit more defined. His eyes are still kind of throwing me off, but okay. Thing of Nightmares. He's still in the stage where he just looks like a thing of nightmares. His head size also still feels off compared to the rest of him. And I know he's just missing this little thing to make it feel like his eyes are still off. I still feel like his shoulders are too wide, but again, that's probably just a me thing. What layer was I drawing on? How was I there? Okay, I don't know what happened, but... Okay, so I think the jacket needs to come up here. Definitely his arms can keep their thickness. It's just the width of his shoulders that are throwing me off. Again, probably just a me thing. Yeah, that... Ooh, that's why that looks weird. You would actually see the side of his palm. Yep, that's why that looks weird. Okay, yeah, that's why. Hands are the worst. Obviously, you need thick... I feel like one arm is not like the other. And let's see. I'll figure out the hand later. Usually the hand I leave for last. And I don't want to keep some of his waist, but he's also got a sweater layered underneath. Then pants, we're just gonna keep it black. Gonna keep his pants basic. I think I'll give Iwa Izumi cargo pants. I'm also thinking hunting boots for Oikawa. Okay, this is what he looks like so far. Do you want to bring in the rest of the... Where is the sketch? I also do need to... Okay. So far we've been doing pretty well in keeping a lot. And probably a zipper around here. Okay. I forgot I was supposed to put... Did I make a symmetrical lure? No, I did not. Although, I think it'll be fine without it. And I'm gonna give him hunter boots. See, the thing is, I feel like his feet would be more outturned. Okay, ignore the blocks he has for feet. And one side is definitely thicker than the other. Okay, I think for now, I don't want to get too overly detailed with Oikawa. I don't want to get too overly detailed on this part with Oikawa because Matsune and Maki are going to be seated at his feet. Kind of like the king holding court. In terms of holding the knife, I need to figure out his hand next. But for right now, just to have the general shape of it and holding it out, thumb is... I'm trying to figure out the angle for the hand because it's... The pinky is going to be on this side. Because it's going to be flat palm, and I'm actually holding my hand a little flatter. And then the thumb is jutting out back here. Hilt of the knife is going to be around here, going out this way. Or at least going out back. Okay, for right now, I think that's good on Oikawa. We're going to refine him a little bit more later, but right now I also do want to get... I want to get the other boys filled in. For right now, I think that's a good start for Oikawa. I'm going to bring his out. I'm going to bring his hair out a little bit more. Okay. Looking like Oikawa still needs a little help, but right now that's good for him. We'll go ahead and bring in Izumi next, I think. Oh, let me just draw his mask really quick. And then mask. I want his bangs to still show, so I think mask is probably gonna be around here somewhere. Okay. Mask there. Iwa-chan, you're next. And he's gonna have to be behind Oikawa before I forget. No. Okay, so now for Iwa-chan. Okie artichoke. What are we gonna do? Yeah, I just don't want to move too quickly into another overly detailed portion because, again, we do need to draw the other boys into the sketch, and I don't want to get too detailed into Oikawa without having all the other boys somewhere in the scene to see how far we need to take certain areas. I fear if I put... So one of my fears right now is that Oikawa is a little too large to fit everybody else. I think I am going to shrink him down a bit because I'm pretty sure Maki and Matsun don't have enough room at his feet right as they are right now. But they are going to be pretty crowded in together. So I might continue working on... Ooh, what is... I have a knot in my shoulder. But yeah, I think I'm going to continue working at the scale just to get them all drawn in. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue working at this scale. So for one, Izumi is going to be a little bit more crouched down, so he's not really going to have much of a neck. I think I'm just going to draw in his stick figure really quick. What are you? No, it's summer. The pests are getting inside. Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is how tall. Not to mention, he's going to be standing behind Oikawa. I know Iwaizumi is shorter, but all things considered, he's not that much shorter. Yeah, he's only a few inches shorter at most when compared to Oikawa. Like, he's shorter than Oikawa, but he's not, like, excessively shorter than Oikawa. It's like literally his chin comes up to his shoulder, not to mention Oikawa is seated. Okay. I think, do I have a decent stick figure? Yeah, I have a decent stick figure. You know, I realize this is probably not the best to try out this method on, but I digress. And computer slowing down. Okay, my phone is okay. Alrighty. If anything, his is going to be a little more or less of a 3/4 angle view, but not by much, to be completely honest. It will be a little bit more downcast. His mask is going to be up here. And his mask is gonna be Susie's. And because he is kind of crouched down, like you won't really see his neck. You're gonna see more of like his head is gonna kind of be sunken in, so you won't really see much of his shoulders. His hip will need to be cocked. One leg is going to be standing straight. The other one is going to be... Yeah, the one that's straight is going to be higher. Okay. His body scale is definitely smaller than Waikawa's right now. But right now I just need the shapes into place. And at the very least, his height seems to be okay. Because that part is that. This part is here. His chest is going to be larger. Oh, I accidentally gave him boobs. His hips are gonna have to come down. There's gonna be foreshortening happening on his arm. His lower torso is currently longer than his upper body. We're gonna go ahead and fix that, but right now I just need him into the position he's gonna be interacting with Oikawa on I don't know. I cannot English on a good day. Okay, so let's actually get in a little bit more detail. Okay, so shape of his head. Let's actually refine the shape of his head a little bit more. I'll go into a darker blue. I feel like Iwaizumi has a bit more of a square face. I feel like Iwaizumi is like the character who probably struggles with losing baby fat. Bokuto definitely struggled with losing baby fat. I could see Bokuto as like a very chubby baby. Be a large baby. Big boy. Well, actually, Iwaizumi's nose would be. No, further out. All right, so I need to start getting ready for bed, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening, and thankfully I wasn't expecting that we'd actually get started on Iwaizumi this evening. I was 100% expecting that we'd be struggling on Oikawa just a little bit longer, but I'm actually happy to where we got Oikawa tonight. Obviously, he's still in a sketching phase, so there's definitely a lot of improvements that can still be done with him. But right now, I don't want to get too far detailed into Oikawa, given that there are still 3 characters missing from the total composition. So there are going to be parts that are going to be covered up. So right now, I think Oikawa is good where he's at. Thankfully, I actually was not expecting that we would get started on Iwaizumi this evening, but thankful that we can now move on to Iwaizumi and slowly we'll knock out each of the 4 boys. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening, and I'll see you in the next stream. Have a good night, everyone.